Love behind bars. I married a man I've never touched. Let me say that again, because I know you're already thinking I'm crazy. I married a man I've never touched, never held hands with outside cold prison walls, never kissed without guards watching, never woke up next to. His name is Marcus, and he's been locked up for 8 years. But here's what you don't know yet. Here's the part that's going to change everything you think about this story. I'm not the victim here. Let me back up. Let me tell you how a normal girl from Seattle, a girl who had a good job, good friends, a good life, ended up married to inmate number 847293. It started with a broken heart. Isn't that how all bad decisions start? Before we dive into this heartwarming story, please click the subscribe button, like and comment where you are watching from. Thanks a lot for the massive support. I really appreciate it. Let's go. My name is Riley. I'm 28 years old. 2 years ago, I caught my boyfriend of 6 years in bed with my best friend. Cliché, right? Like something from a bad movie. But when it's your life, when it's your bed, when it's your best friend since high school, it doesn't feel cliché. It feels like your chest is splitting open. I did what any reasonable person does after that. I went a little crazy, not like dangerous crazy, just different crazy. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't stop thinking about them together. So I'd stay up all night scrolling my phone, looking at nothing, looking at everything, trying to make my brain shut up. That's when I found it. A video on my feed. Some girl talking about her boyfriend. But here's the weird part. He was in prison. And she was smiling. Actually smiling. Talking about how happy she was. I watched the whole thing. Then I watched another. And another. These women. They called themselves prison wives, prison girlfriends. They seemed happy. Really happy. Not fake happy. Not pretending happy. And I thought, how? How can someone be happy when their person is locked away? When they can't hold them? When they can only talk through glass? But then I realized something. These women couldn't get hurt the same way I did. Their men couldn't cheat. Couldn't lie about where they were. Couldn't bring someone else into their bed. Because they were locked in a cell. I know how that sounds. I know. But when you're broken, when you're bleeding inside, you start thinking crazy thoughts make sense. So I downloaded the app. It was called Connect Inside, a pen pal app for prisoners. You could write letters, send messages, even do video calls if you paid extra. I told myself I was just curious, just looking, just exploring. I scrolled through profiles, hundreds of them, men of all ages, all backgrounds, all crimes. Some wrote long descriptions about who they were, what they did, what they wanted. Others just had a picture and a name. Then I saw Marcus. His picture was simple. Just him in a gray shirt looking at the camera. He wasn't smiling, but he wasn't mean-looking either. Just real. Brown eyes, dark hair, a face that looked like it had seen hard things but hadn't given up. His description was short. My name is Marcus. I'm 30. I made a big mistake when I was young, and I'm paying for it. I'm not looking for pity, just someone to talk to. Someone who sees me as more than a number. I stared at that for a long time. Then I clicked the message button. Hi, my name is Riley. I don't really know why I'm writing this. I guess I'm curious about your story. I hit send before I could change my mind. I didn't expect him to respond, but 2 hours later, my phone buzzed. Hi, Riley. Thanks for reaching out. Most people don't. What do you want to know? My hands shook as I typed back. I guess, what happened? Why are you there? His response took longer this time. I was 22, stupid, angry. I was with some friends and we broke into a house. I didn't think anyone was home, but someone was. An old man. My friend panicked and hit him. The man died 3 days later. I drove the car. I helped plan it. So I got charged too. They gave me 15 years. I've done 8. I sat there reading those words over and over. He killed someone. Well, his friend did. But Marcus was there. Marcus helped. I should have stopped writing. Should have deleted the app. Should have run. But I didn't. Are you sorry? I typed every single day. Something in those 3 words got me. Maybe because they felt true. Maybe because I needed them to be true. We kept writing. At first, it was just small talk about our days, our lives, normal stuff. He told me about prison, the food, the routine, the boredom. I told him about work, about Seattle, about nothing important. But then we started going deeper. He told me about his childhood, about a father who left, about a mother who worked 3 jobs and still couldn't keep the lights on, about being angry all the time and not knowing why. I told him about my ex, about the betrayal, about feeling like I'd never be able to trust anyone again. Trust is hard, he wrote, but it's not impossible. You just have to find someone worth trusting. Have you? I asked. I'm starting to. My heart jumped when I read that. We started talking every day, then twice a day, then constantly. He made me laugh. Actual, real laughs. He'd tell me stories about the other inmates, about the ridiculous things that happened in prison. He'd ask me questions about the outside world, about things I took for granted, what rain smelled like, what fresh coffee tasted like, what it felt like to drive with the windows down. And slowly, without meaning to, I started falling for him. 3 months after our first message, I did the video call. It cost money, like a lot of money, but I didn't care. I needed to see him, really see him. When his face appeared on my screen, my breath caught. He looked different than his picture. Older, maybe. More tired. But his eyes, those brown eyes, they were exactly the same. "Hi," he said. His voice was deep, a little rough. "Hi," I whispered back. We just stared at each other for a moment. Then he smiled, really smiled, and I felt my whole chest warm up. "You're beautiful," he said. I laughed, embarrassed. "You can't even see me properly through this camera." "I can see enough." We talked for an hour, about everything, about nothing. And when the call ended, I sat there on my couch, hugging my knees, smiling like an idiot. I was in trouble. Big trouble. I didn't tell anyone at first. How could I? How do you tell your friends, your family, that you're falling for someone in prison? Someone who helped commit a crime that ended a life. But I couldn't hide it forever. My sister Maya noticed first. "You're different," she said one day over coffee. "You're happier." I tried to play it off. "I'm just in a better place." "Is there someone?" She leaned in, excited. "Riley, do you have a boyfriend?" I froze. "Kind of?" "Kind of? What does that mean?" She was grinning. "Tell me everything. Where'd you meet him? What's he like?" I took a deep breath. He's in prison." Her smile died. "What?" "He's in prison. For being involved in a robbery that went wrong. Someone died. He's been locked up for 8 years. Maya just stared at me. Then she laughed. Not a happy laugh. A shocked, horrified laugh. "Riley, tell me you're joking." "I'm not joking." "Are you insane?" She stood up, her voice getting louder. "You're dating a criminal? A murderer?" "He didn't murder anyone. He was involved. Someone died. He was young. He made a mistake." "A mistake?" Maya's face was red. "Riley, a mistake is forgetting to pay a bill. A mistake is being late to work. This is not a mistake. This is a crime." People in the coffee shop were starting to stare. I felt my face burn. "You don't understand," I said quietly. "You're right. I don't." She grabbed her purse. "And I don't want to." She left. I sat there alone, staring at my cold coffee, feeling my eyes sting. But I didn't stop talking to Marcus. My parents were worse. When I finally told them, because Maya already had, they invited me over for dinner. I knew it was going to be bad. My dad didn't even let me sit down. "We need to talk about this man you're seeing. His name is Marcus. I don't care what his name is." My dad's voice was sharp, cold. "I care that he's in prison, that he's a criminal, that my daughter is throwing her life away on someone who doesn't deserve her." "You don't know him." "I know enough." He crossed his arms. "What kind of man ends up in prison, Riley? What kind of future can you possibly have with someone like that?" My mom touched his arm. "Honey, let her explain." "There's nothing to explain." He turned to me. "Riley, you're a smart girl. You have a good job, a good life. Why would you do this to yourself?" "Because he makes me happy." The words burst out of me. "Because he listens to me. Because he cares about me. Because he sees me." "He's using you," my dad said flatly. "Men in prison, they look for women like you. Lonely, vulnerable. They tell you what you want to hear. And you fall for it." "That's not true." "Isn't it?" He stepped closer. "Has he asked you for money yet?" I froze. Because Marcus had. Once. He needed money for the commissary, for basic things. Soap, food, phone calls. And I'd sent it. Not much, just a little. My dad saw my face. "He has, hasn't he?" "It's not like that. It's exactly like that." His voice dropped. Sad now, not angry. "Riley, please, don't do this. Don't throw your life away on someone who's already thrown his away." I looked at my mom. She was crying. "We just want you to be safe," she whispered. "We just want you to be happy." "I am happy," I said, but I wasn't sure anymore. I called Marcus that night. "My family hates you," I said as soon as he answered. There was a pause. "I don't blame them." "What?" "Riley, I'm in prison. I'm a criminal. Of course they hate me. I'd hate me too if I were them. But you're not." "I am." His voice was firm. "I did something terrible. I helped hurt someone. I deserve to be here. And I understand if you don't want to do this anymore." My heart clenched. "Do you want me to stop?" Another pause. Longer this time. "No. But I want you to be happy. And if I'm making your life harder, you're not." I was crying now. "You're the only thing that makes sense. Everyone else sees me as broken, as someone who needs fixing. But you just see me." "I do see you." His voice was soft. "And what I see is someone strong, someone kind, someone who deserves better than me." "Stop saying that. It's true. I don't care." I wiped my eyes. "I don't care what my family thinks. I don't care what anyone thinks. I care about you. Riley, I love you." The words just came out. I didn't plan them, but as soon as I said them, I knew they were true. Silence on the other end. Then quietly, "I love you too." 6 months later, Marcus asked me to marry him. It wasn't romantic. We were on a video call. The connection was bad. The picture kept freezing, and there was another inmate yelling in the background. But when he said, "Riley, will you marry me?" my heart stopped. "What?" "Marry me." He leaned closer to the camera. "I know it's crazy. I know I have 7 more years before I get out. I know I can't give you a normal life. But I love you, and I want you to be my wife." I should have said no. Any reasonable person would have said no, but I said yes. We got married 3 months later. The wedding was in the prison visiting room. I wore a simple white dress, nothing fancy, because they have rules about what you can wear. No open toes, no underwire bras, nothing that could be used as a weapon. My family didn't come. My friends didn't come. It was just me, Marcus, and the prison chaplain. Marcus wore his prison uniform, gray shirt, gray pants. But when I walked in and saw him standing there waiting for me, He looked like the most handsome man in the world. We said our vows. Simple ones. Promising to love each other, to stay together, to be honest. When the chaplain said, "You may kiss the bride," Marcus leaned in. Our lips touched for exactly 3 seconds before a guard yelled, "That's enough!" That was our wedding kiss. 3 seconds. But it was enough. Being married to someone in prison is strange. People ask me all the time, how does that even work? The truth? It doesn't. Not really. I can't wake up next to him, can't cook dinner with him, can't watch movies on the couch, can't fight about stupid things like dishes or laundry. All I have are letters, phone calls, video visits twice a month if I'm lucky. I sleep alone, eat alone, live alone, but I wear his ring. And when I talk to him, when I hear his voice, when I read his words, I don't feel alone. I started posting about it online. I don't know why. Maybe I needed to talk about it. Maybe I was tired of hiding. Maybe I just wanted someone to understand. I made a video. Just me, sitting in my apartment, talking about Marcus, about how we met, about why I love him. I posted it and went to bed. When I woke up, it had 10,000 views and 1,000 comments. Most of them were mean. "You're pathetic. He's using you. You're just a lonely girl who fell for a criminal. What about the victim? Does his family know you're celebrating a murderer? You're disgusting." I read every single one, and each one felt like a punch. But then I saw other comments, hidden between the hate. "I'm in the same situation. Thank you for sharing." "People don't understand, but I do." "You're brave for posting this." And I realized I wasn't alone. There were others like me, women who loved men in prison, women who were judged, criticized, shamed, but who loved anyway. So I kept posting. I shared our story, our struggles, our love, and my videos started going viral. Hundreds of thousands of views. Millions, eventually. Some people supported me, most didn't. But I didn't care anymore, because I had Marcus, and that was enough. Or so I thought. Because here's the thing about loving someone in prison. You never really know them. You know who they are in letters, in phone calls, in controlled visits with guards watching. But you don't know who they are in the real world. And I was about to find out. Marcus's release date was coming up. 7 years had passed. He'd served his time, done everything right, stayed out of trouble, completed programs, proven he'd changed. In 3 months, he'd be free. And I'd finally get to touch my husband. Really touch him. Hold him. Wake up next to him. I was excited, terrified, hopeful. I didn't know I should be scared. 2 months before his release, I got a message from a stranger, a woman. Her profile picture was of her and a little girl, maybe 6 years old. The message said, "You don't know me, but you should know the truth about Marcus." My stomach dropped. I stared at the message for a long time before responding. "What truth?" Her reply came fast. "I'm Marcus's ex-girlfriend. We dated before he went to prison. And that little girl in my picture? She's his daughter." The world tilted. "What? He never told you, did he? That he has a daughter? That I tried to stay with him when he first got locked up? That he pushed me away? Told me he didn't want to ruin my life? But really, he just didn't want the responsibility." I couldn't breathe. That little girl asks about her dad, and I tell her he's not around, because that's easier than explaining he's in prison, that he chose to forget about us. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely type. "You're lying." "I'm not. Ask him. Ask Marcus if he has a daughter." She sent a picture. A little girl, dark hair, brown eyes. She looked just like Marcus. I didn't call him that night, or the next night. I just sat with the information, turning it over in my mind like a stone. Marcus had a daughter he never mentioned, a daughter he abandoned. Was everything a lie? Finally, 5 days later, I called. Riley! He sounded so happy. I've been trying to reach you. Is everything okay? Do you have a daughter? Silence. Long, heavy silence. Riley. Yes or no, Marcus? Do you have a daughter? Yes. The word hit me like a truck. How old is she? 9. And you never told me? I wanted to... When? My voice was shaking. When were you going to tell me? After you got out? After we had kids of our own? Never? It's complicated. It's not complicated, I was yelling now. You have a daughter, and you never told me. I didn't tell you because I knew you'd react like this. Like what? Like someone who just found out her husband has been lying to her for 2 years? I haven't been lying. You lied by not telling me. Tears were streaming down my face. What else haven't you told me? What else are you hiding? Nothing. Riley, please. I can't do this. My voice broke. I can't. Riley, don't... I hung up. He called back 47 times that night. I didn't answer. He sent messages, long ones, explaining, apologizing, begging. I was young when she was born. Her mom and I weren't together. I was messed up, angry. I pushed them away because I thought they were better off without me. And then I went to prison and I thought, why burden her with a dad who's locked up? Why hurt her like that? But I know I was wrong. I know I should have told you. I was scared. Scared you'd see me differently. Scared you'd leave. Please, Riley, please talk to me. I read every message, but I didn't respond because I didn't know what to say. I called Marcus's ex. Her name was Shayna. Thank you for telling me, I said. I'm sorry. She actually sounded sorry. I didn't want to hurt you, but I thought you should know. Does he ever talk to his daughter? No. He sends money sometimes, through his prison account, but he's never called, never written. She doesn't even really know who he is. My heart ached. What's her name? Zoe. Zoe. Marcus had a daughter named Zoe, and he pretended she didn't exist. I didn't talk to Marcus for 3 weeks, the longest 3 weeks of my life. I thought about divorce, about walking away, about saying this was all a mistake. But then I thought about something else. I thought about second chances, about how Marcus went to prison for a mistake he made when he was young, how he paid for it, how he changed. And I wondered, didn't he deserve a second chance with his daughter too? Didn't I believe in second chances? Wasn't that the whole reason I loved him in the first place? So I called him. Riley. His voice was desperate. I'm still mad at you, I said. I'm really, really mad. You should have told me. I know, but I understand why you didn't. And I think you need to make this right. What do you mean? Call your daughter, write to her, be her dad. Silence. Riley, she's better off. No. My voice was firm. She's not. Trust me. I know what it's like to feel abandoned, to feel like someone who's supposed to love you just left. Don't do that to her. What if she hates me? Maybe she will, at first, but at least she'll know you tried. More silence. Then, quietly, okay. Marcus called Zoe the next week. I don't know what they said. He didn't tell me, but when he called me after, he was crying. She sounds just like me, he whispered. Her laugh, her voice. It's like hearing myself as a kid. That's good, right? It's terrifying. He laughed through tears. What if I mess this up? What if I hurt her again? You will mess up. Every parent does. But the important thing is you show up. I don't know how to be a dad. Neither does anyone. You just try. He was quiet for a moment. Then, thank you for not giving up on me. I thought about it, I admitted. I know, and I wouldn't have blamed you. But I didn't, because I love you, even when you make it really hard. He laughed. I love you too. The next month passed in a blur. Marcus started writing letters to Zoe, started calling her once a week, started trying to be part of her life. It was awkward at first. Shayna told me Zoe didn't really understand who Marcus was, but slowly she started to open up. And Marcus, he was different, lighter, like a weight had been lifted. I didn't realize how much I was carrying, he told me. The guilt, the shame, it was eating me alive. And now I'm trying, and that feels better than hiding. 1 month before Marcus's release, I went to visit him. A real visit, in person. I flew to the prison, 5 hours away, and sat in the waiting room with other families, wives, girlfriends, kids. When they called my name, my heart pounded. I walked through the metal detector, got my hand stamped, went through 3 locked doors, and then I was in the visiting room. It was exactly like in movies. Tables, chairs, vending machines, guards standing around. And then I saw him. Marcus, my husband, standing there, waiting for me. He looked older than in the videos, more real. His hair was shorter. He had a scar on his cheek I'd never noticed before. But his eyes, those brown eyes, they were the same. We just stared at each other. Then I walked toward him, slowly at first, then faster. And when I reached him, he pulled me into his arms. I buried my face in his chest, felt his heart beating, smelled the prison soap on his skin. He was real. He was here. "Hi," he whispered. I laughed, cried, both. "Hi." We sat down, held hands across the table, talked for 4 hours straight, about everything, about nothing, about our future. "1 more month," he said, "and then I'm free." "Are you scared?" Terrified. He squeezed my hand. "I don't know how to be out there anymore. I don't know how to be a husband, a dad, a normal person." Nobody knows how to be a normal person. We're all just pretending. He smiled. "You always say the right thing." "Not always, but I try." We kissed. A real kiss this time, longer than 3 seconds, until a guard yelled, "Keep it appropriate." We laughed. And for the first time in 2 years, I felt like everything might actually be okay. But here's the thing about stories like this. They don't always end the way you think. Does Marcus really change when he gets out? Can their love survive in the real world? And what happens when the truth about Marcus's crime comes out? The whole truth. Find out in part 2. Please click the subscribe button, like and comment where you are watching from. Thanks a lot for the massive support. I really appreciate it.